Just a little heads up for the interview. There is some construction noise that occurs later on in the interview because I didn't know there was construction going outside of my apartment. So, excuse the noise, and I hope you enjoyed the interview. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Got a Case of Wanderlust podcast. I'm your host, Lydia, and today I'm with Kiran. And Kiran was raised in Kolkata, located on the eastern side of India, and completed her MBA in Mumbai, one of India's largest cities on the west coast. Kiran is now living and working in Bengaluru in southern India. So today we'll be learning all about traveling to the world's most populous country from our travel expert on India. So I'm here to give a warm welcome to Kiran. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for having me. Happy to be here.
I'm so excited that you are here as well. So, first question. You've traveled to many different countries, but also extensively throughout India. But what exactly sparked your wanderlust?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. The place I come from is a hub of culture and slow living, the east part of India, Kolkata, where I grew up. And life there, revolves around more into, celebrating festivals, taking things at a relaxed pace. And growing up, it was a family tradition to travel out of our state to at least once a year. So, although like we had elders in our family and the like we were a family of six, seven, like having our grandparents living together. So we will mostly travel to religious places. That's how it started. But beyond that, it was, slowly we ventured into traveling to, you know, north where we have desert and we have hilly areas also. So I think it was pretty common for us to be traveling once a year, and that's how it grew on me. And travel became more than just a routine. It turned into something I craved, and then I completed my studies. My work required me to travel even more, which only amplified my love for exploring new places. So that's something I guess happened to me, and here I am. I try to travel a couple of times in a year abroad, and definitely every 2 months I travel within India also. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that it is something which was a family tradition that started this off.
Hmm, that's wonderful. And when did you first begin solo traveling? What did you learn from this first solo trip?
Okay, well, so I left my home city when I was 20 for my post graduation, and I was living alone. And then I would travel during weekends, and then weekends would turn into a couple of days taking off from my schedule, and then hopping over to other states, beyond Mumbai. I was living in Mumbai and studying in Mumbai then. So that's when I started traveling up north, where we have like Himalayas, and we are a country of a different topography. So I really wanted to explore the northern India, and that's how I started traveling solo. So mostly I've traveled to India, northern part of India as a solo traveler. So yes, for 2 good years I have traveled a lot in the sense, I would say it's safe to say that twice a month, despite my studies and all that, because I really loved my first or second time. And the 2 good years I have traveled solo.
Okay, that's amazing. It's always great to start off in your home country, obviously where it's comfortable, so you could
Yeah.
really get to know what you like, what you don't like as far as when you are alone traveling because it's a very different experience traveling with other people. So, in particular in India, would you say solo traveling is different in this country versus other countries? Are there any extra things we should be aware of?
Uh, Solo traveling in India is very safe, I would say, because although we, country as a country might not be very popular for solo traveling, especially amongst women. But I met many fellow travelers who have not come from, not only have come from different states within India, and India is quite very big. In fact, I would say we have 28 states. So I not only met many female solo travelers, I also met people who have come from abroad, especially from neighboring countries. See, you have to stick to basic rules of safety, which is like, not going on your own to places where you are not supposed to be. And if you are stick to basic uh, rules where you know where your instinct says so that you're not supposed to be traveling during night, you're not supposed to be hopping into strangers' cars, and better if you have a guide with you. It's very much safe for anyone and everyone who wants to travel, be it a female, be it a male, or be with a family. It's as good as, any other country.
What are the best cities to visit for first time travelers to India?
This I have on my blog as well on Thatch. I would always recommend to go to the northern part, which is like one of the historical cities that we have, Jaipur. It's quite famous amongst locals and foreigners alike. And like it's going to be a historical, I would say, experience for you in terms of luxury as well, because we have a lot many palaces. Jaipur is known for its palaces, and it's very safe amongst, and it's very popular as well. You know, so like if you ask someone who lives outside India or who has come to India, they will always tell you that they have been to the, like, the golden triangle of India, which is Jaipur, Delhi, and Agra. Agra, we have this Taj Mahal, iconic Taj Mahal. So these three cities are very popular. So if you are a first-time traveler, you should land, especially in Jaipur. I'll list Jaipur in first, then you can go to Agra, that is second, where you see this, Taj Mahal, and then third, you can go to Delhi, which is the capital city of India. So these are very much safe as well.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, the Golden Triangle sounds like a great starting point. But I guess if travelers want to get into the lesser known side of India, are there any cities outside of the Golden Triangle that you would recommend?
Kerala, that's like that's southern part of India, and it's known as God's own country, because it's very pretty nature wise. It's on the south coast of India. So Kerala, always.
Kerala. Okay. I'm gonna have to make sure to add that to my itinerary. And as far as cultural norms and just advice that we should be aware of when traveling to India, what are some ways we could show respect to the culture, like things to do, what not to do?
All right. Um, we are not someone who are very sensitive, but we are very culture orienting people. So, for example, in temples, we remove our slippers outside. In homes, we do not wear our slippers. So, if someone is inviting you over, like, so the general acceptable manner is to remove your slippers outside, or shoes, or whatever you are wearing, your footwear. And in terms of safety, I would say, don't we are very we are very happy people, I would say, and we end up inviting a lot of guests to our home, but not all the people are have right intentions. Maybe 90% of them, yes, but 10% of them not. So not to accept, like, invitations, which is very common here in India, by the way. So once you are living here for longer duration, of course, one will not find this happening if you are here for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But suppose you are here for a couple of months, you will have people inviting you over from your neighborhood. Suppose you're living at a certain place. And you have to dress modestly, I would say, because in India, revealing clothes are not very popular, like in how it is in West. And nothing as such that I can think of which should be religiously. We are very decent people. do not have anything pertaining to religion that should stand out. And of course, like, common sense is expected what not to talk about in public that against anybody's religion, which is something does not need a mention, I would say. And here, by the way, another health safety thing I would want to say, that tap water is not drinkable in India. So that's something you should avoid. And we widely speak English, so that's something that, should keep you at ease. PDA is a big no because we are very, you know, get a room type of uh, culture people. So PDA is highly, on the no side. And that's it. I mean, nothing that I can think of which is should stand out. And people here stare a lot, by the way. This is some additional information I want to share, which is not something, uh, because they don't like you or their race. This is not related to that, but maybe it's a curiosity. And we are brown people. Color white is something exotic to us. I would like to think that. And that's where the stare come from. But it's mostly harmless. And the way to handle is to ignore it, smile it, and move on. Keep walking.
Very good things to note, so thank you for that. So now let's talk about India's gastronomic scene. I think most people now are familiar with famous Indian dishes such as like the curries or the delicious garlic naan bread and like fried samosas, but I'd love for you to share some of the lesser known Indian dishes as well as your favorites.
Oh my God. I mean, Indian cuisine is like a festival of flavors, I would say. It's diverse. I mean, mm, from south to north to east to west, you change a state and, like, the food changes completely. I mean, basically our cuisine is deeply rooted in tradition, I would say, and it varies from region to region. It's just not about curries, but we also have, like, our food is all about balance, aroma, flavors. So, and it's highly, or I would say heavily influenced by history, geography, and even like the local culture. You can try butter chicken, which is one of the very popular dishes abroad as well, and chicken tikka masala. These two are my favorite too. Otherwise, you can also try a dish item called biryani. That's amazing. So these three are from the cuisine, I would say. But if you really want to try something from street food, you should try samosa and you should try pani puri, dosa, and chai. We are known for chai, if you know. So these are something you should try. Put your hands on it. So you're not gonna regret it.
Okay,
And if,
and
yeah.
are these from a specific region of the country? Because I know that India is very diverse depending on where you go.
Yeah, so you should try if you're in Delhi or if you're northern part of India, you should definitely give it a try to, like, butter chicken. If you are in South, biryani. South is famous for biryani where I am, right now. I mean, where I live. So yes, if you're in Delhi or even you are in Agra or you are in Jaipur, you should try any chicken item, especially like butter chicken items. So butter chicken from north, dosa and biryani from south. And chai and samosa and pani puri, all this found everywhere, as a street food, and that's something you can find in anywhere and everywhere through and through India.
Do you have any advice for navigating the street food scene in India?
Absolutely. If you are someone who, since we live here, we are exposed to having different spicy foods. Are we do not have problem anywhere in the world while we are traveling also. But someone who is coming to a country like India where food is like, this changes, like I would say every 50 kilometers, one should definitely take caution. It has to do with the water, I would say. Since tap water is not drinkable in India, you should always carry a water bottle of yours. And you should try street foods from, you should always ask locals where to go and not just like hop on or stop at a place where you see someone selling, because we also do not go to like anywhere and everywhere for having street food. We also have preferences, so better to ask in which city you are in. Depending on that, you ask around your locals and then go to that place, and definitely, should carry your own water. That's it. Because there's even street foods, cooked street foods, I would say. If you want to try, always try the cooked street foods, which are, safer for your stomach. And carry your own bottle of water. That should do the trick, I would say.
Great advice. And then switching topics a bit, so I want to talk about yoga because that is something you've written about. India is known for being the birthplace of yoga, where our modern practices derive from religious practices in Hinduism. So, do you have any recommendations for those traveling to India for yoga, such as a retreat or teacher trainings?
Yes. So, yeah, actually, you are right. Growing up in our schools, we had this yoga as our extracurricular activities. Like you have music, you have this art and crafts. So we had this like one extra class, or say like one of the activities that we had as yoga, which is still quite popular in some of the schools. But for us, it's a very medieval practice. I would say it's not something like new to us. That's that it's getting popularized. So having said that, it's you can train anywhere and everywhere in India, I would say, because we have many certified agencies, or say uh, ashrams also. They teach yoga. Especially the southern part of India is quite famous amongst people from north also, or east also, or west also, that if you want to take a wellness retreat or wellness break, or you want to get certified in yoga, we most people try to travel to South India. And here we have ashrams. Ashram is like a school but for yoga. So here you live, live a minimalistic life. Definitely, it's not something like a hotel or a very modern resort, but it's a basic amenities with which you can live your day-to-day life, and at the same time you can practice. It is very effective cost-wise also, because yoga is taken as a way of life here, and not just something that you learn and just teach it. For us, it's like it's one of the activities that you do on daily basis. So you can go to these retreat centers, or say ashrams, and get the certification done. You can teach, sorry, you can learn. You can actually also take courses which goes over for a month, or even for 6 months, or even there are yearly courses also. Or at the same time, you can just live experience and come back. So yeah.
Okay, that's a great overview. Thank you for sharing that. Have you ever done a retreat yourself?
Yes, yes, I have. So I we do frequent traveling to Kerala, because I'm not very far from that state. I'm just like couple of hours drive from where I live, or take a flight of like 45 minutes or 1 hour, I would say. And but yes, I have taken a retreat like long back with my mother. It was
Mm.
her idea basically. I was young enough to say no, but I had no choice. But I actually kind of liked it, and we both had a different kind of uh, course that we took. My mom took like the yoga. Sorry, my mom took the meditation one, where you do not speak for certain hours in a day. But I took the yoga, and it for like 15 days. Sorry, it was for 21 days, 3 weeks, where you would do a certain, your day was scheduled by them. You would do a certain practices in the morning and in the evening, and you would do some volunteering work, and you would do some stretching, some exercising. You'll be helping in kitchen, and you'll be sleeping at like 8 p.m., getting at 4 in the morning, and helping with the chores around the ashram. So yes, it was very satisfactory, and somewhere it felt like slow living is something one can do and live with it and even have love for it. And my mom, she still is very fond of going to these retreats. But this is something a very nice and soothing experience, I would say, and one should at least experience once, because it felt we don't need modernism to kind of live, which which most people desire. I think simple and minimalist living is something it imbibes in your thoughts, I would say, after you come back from the retreat.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the power of slow living. I love it. And moving into our rapid fire round, the first one is, what is a dream destination for you?
All right, so I think my travel desires have converted into knowing about, a particular culture and city. I was always fascinated with how a small island like Singapore could be something very popular and expensive amongst travelers. So that one city that I would like to go.
Incredible. And two, what is a memorable meal you've had when traveling?
Um, since I'm very frequent to this country, Dubai, I really have this inclination towards, Middle Eastern food. I really like a food called Jatar naan, which is like variety of naan with hummus, and I like everything Dubai food, like or you call Middle Eastern food, hummus, jata naan, shawarma. Shawarma is kind of a roll where you have meat inside, like that barbecued meat, and you can have with it a dip called hummus, which is a chickpea. I'm sure you know about that.
Okay, and then lastly, what is a special place in your heart?
Oh my God, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm yet to travel to a place which actually speaks to me, or maybe I have not spent enough time to be able to feel that. But I guess whenever I go back to my city, native city where I grew up in, Kolkata, I feel a sense of, connection where I go back to my place where I grew up, where I went schooling, where I went with friends. So I traveled to my city after a couple of years this December, and it felt I am a small kid, maybe because of all I have nothing but sweet memories from my city. So it is going to be my native city, Kolkata.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time today, Kiran. It was really great chatting with you, learning with you, and then I'll make sure to put your Dutch guides, your travel guides in the link, as well as your Instagram so people could check you out as well. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for having me. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Gotta Case Wanderlust podcast. Again, my name is Lydia, and you can find me on social media in the About section of this podcast. Please rate and review if you found value or insight from this, and I hope to see you in the next episode.